I live death every day.
The meeting is now in order. Now what do you say if we form a new club?
Buckwheat. Clubhouse is open.
The rules of this club must be obeyed.
Hey, what's up everybody? How are you doing? And welcome to SHANTH ENJETI art, coming to you live from the heart of Lovecraft country in the birthplace of American religious liberty. My name is SHANTH ENJETI, and of course I am here streaming because we have almost 24 hours left, just a little bit more than 24 hours left on Nosfero the Crypt Walker's Second Chance campaign, and that second 30 days is wrapping up. So thank you guys for being here and joining me. I sent the link out to two of our other club members, and we'll see if they have a chance to swing by and say hello. But it is a pleasure to be here with you guys. Yes, by the power of the quill. Amen, Mighty Geek Studios. And I also got to see who we've got in here. Speaking of Mighty Geek Studios, it is great to see you, my friend. I hope you were doing well. Venom Bite is in the house. It is great to see you, Venom Bite. We've got McGregorable J in the house. It is great to see you, my friend. And we've got channel member Amoral Fat 40 Ounce in the house. And where is my other Jordan Horst channel member saying Merry Halloween? Merry Halloween to you, sir. And boy, speaking of Halloween, a lot of that type of stuff has been on my mind. I am back from just a crazy week, and I am painting some Nosfero and just getting ready for the clock to run out on this campaign, which has been a blast, and I am so excited about it, and I'm so excited about everywhere we are going from here. And speaking of people who are always welcome, but I never know what their schedule is like, Michael Bancroft is in the house. Michael, would you like to come on in here? I'm not just going to preemptively send the link. I know John Malin would be very disappointed, but I would absolutely love to send you the link if you are game, but I honestly do not know what time it is. My brain is gone in Australia, but do let me know, and I will send the link your way, brother. Michael, God, speaking of, I was just thinking today, obviously I was thinking a lot today about various things, and one of the things I was really thinking about was Mike and the start of the Nosfero journey, which happened on his channel. And yeah, I always think of that with such fond memories. You want to talk about two people who didn't know each other and just like met. Talk about speed dating, for God's sake. He had me on to talk about the fact that I was, in Comicsgate, and then we kind of got to know each other with Joe over the course of that stream, and it was something else. Would love to, but oh no, I'm sick and unable to speak properly. I am so sorry to hear that, dude. Well, sit back and enjoy yourself then, brother, and we'll have some fun. Guys, you know the link to the Lucent 2 is in the description. The Lucent is always available. and it is a damn fine read, and I had a blast doing a painting for that project, just like I did another one for Eric Weathers. Those may be my last commissions for a bit, because man, they were great to do, but outside of just singular painting commissions, doing narrative paintings is a lot. And I was just like, oh man, I gotta get back to painting Nosfero. I couldn't be happier, though, that those are the commissions that I do, are the ones by people who are my artist brothers and whose characters, creations, and ideas I really love. I don't even know how to describe it. There's a couple of things I would like to paint and a couple of creator-owned properties in Comicsgate that I would love to do a painting for. But so many of the ones that I would have wanted to, I've had that opportunity, and I feel unbelievably grateful for that. It was one of the best paintings I've ever done that I really don't know if I share enough or show enough. I don't know exactly how to do it in this setting, because the original sold is the CYBERFROG trading card piece I did. Let's see. Oh gosh, the Ghost of the Badlands piece I did, which I'm really happy with. I'm trying to think of what other things I've done. Oh my gosh, a piece I did for Downcast, which I thought was really exciting, with the giant shark in the background. That was a part of the CG Vacation. And then, let me see what else I've done. Yeah, Battle Brick Road, for God's sake. So Battle Brick Road, the Lucent, all of those have been amazing to work on. And I just, this is what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do stuff in the creator-owned space, even since I was very, very young. I, of course, was reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Mirage and dreaming of how cool it would be to do your own stuff, with, of course, none of the reality, as is often the case. Speaking of independence, hail peeps from Edwin. The Ace Volume 3 is live. Acevedo. Edwin, Bubby, I was going to ask you to do something, but we've got a problem. I was going to ask you to post a link to your campaign in the chat. The problem is, I don't know that you can. Could you please respond to me and let me know whether you can do that or not? To post a link to your campaign, Edwin? If you could just say yes or no. Hey, what's up, David D? How are you doing? Yes, the Lizard King is here. That is me. And I got to do more of that, man. That's a blast. But yeah, Edwin, let me know yes or no if you're able to post a link in the chat to your campaign. David D is here. And of course, guys, I'm loving this Halloween stuff. Amoral Fat 40 ounce is 100% on board with it. I love that stuff. And Hail Hecklefish. Man, you know what's so funny? So I was talking to Weathers not long ago, and I said, you watch the Y-Files, right? And he said to me, he goes, I was watching the Y-Files before it blew up and it became what it is now. So Eric was a very early adopter of the Y-Files, which I think is comfortably at 4 million subscribers. I have to be honest, I feel like AJ is looking very overwhelmed and exhausted by the amount of work that he puts into his content. Because it's a lot. He's been hitting it really hard for a while. But the success of that channel and the work that he's put in is frankly incredible and an inspiration to me. I've been thinking a lot about that with what I do. I have a lot of ideas that I want to do going forward. I'm always thinking about that channel. That channel to me is an example of really exceptional YouTube programming, I almost want to say. I don't want to say content, because they really make a professional show over there. It's something else. And if you're not subscribed to the Y-Files, if you're not one of the 4 million people subscribed to the Y-Files, be there on the way to 5 million and join up, because it's a really fun channel, really quality stuff that they're doing over there. Now, if you're wondering what I'm working, son of a bee sting, all this time I have been working, I have not been working on camera. I swear, people, I don't know why you're here, but God bless you for being here. And if you're a channel member, please feel free to test out. You know what it is? It's the trick of, see if I can move this a little bit, of being able to see what I'm painting and not having the ring light in the camera blocking my view. But if you are a newly minted channel member, there we go. If you're a newly minted channel member and you have not yet, check out all of those new custom emojis we have right now. We have got, of course, He Dog, who's chilling out in the corner right there. He's got an emoji. We've got the skull and crossbones. That's a brush and a quill. And, yeah, it's all... I've really gotten after it. I've even got a Pizza Live emoji in there. Those are the little things that I've got to always make sure I'm keeping on top of to make sure I'm keeping things fun. And speaking of Pizza Live, guys, man, was that a fun Pizza Live. This last Pizza Live we had. That was absolutely a blast. I mean, I cannot tell you how much fun I had. That movie is genius. Oh! Heyo, Shanth, what's up, Rock? Let me know if you want to come in here, buddy. I'll send you the link. I know you were streaming. Were you streaming earlier, or was that was a pre-recorded video? If you guys are not subscribed to my brother of, what are we at now? 30 years we've known each other. And an incredible artist, illustrator, and animator, award-winning animator, and veteran of the field, and veteran of me and our friendship. He's an incredible dude. Go subscribe to his channel if you love comics. He talks comics, and does a lot of master studies. He was doing one for Mike Zeck recently, and it was just a blast to watch him, brush ink. And he uses the same software that I use. He uses Ecamm, and so you get these really great high resolution brush inking and penciling videos where he does master studies of some of our favorite artists. So hail to my brother. Pre-recorded. Yeah, it was great. Son of Liberty. I am not a new channel member, but my account got canceled by YouTube, and they made me start a new one while I appeal. No. I just realized you're holding up a sign that says no. Oh my God, has a sense of humor. Yes, no, indeed, I agree. What's with the dog on the screen? Oh, that is the He-Man Comic Makers Club pet dog. So if you give a super chat, and by the way, let me also add this, guys. Let me look at you. If you are thinking about sending a super chat, or you're thinking about, and it's anywhere around $5, which is what it costs to gift a membership, one of the best things, #no, ridiculous. You need to get in here. If you're one of the people who is interested in doing that, one of the things that has been huge for this channel, I want to thank everyone who's done it. Jim Cox, Random McRanderson has been going crazy with it. Mark's Music Obsession, I believe, did it as well. Those of you guys who gift memberships, it's big for this channel because it basically gives everybody who's a channel member updates. They get to see what we're up to. They get to test out the features. And it is really the best way to get the word out about this channel and get more eyes on it. So I cannot thank you enough for those of you guys who have gifted memberships, and certainly for those of you guys who are already members. You guys are amazing. So thank you. And I updated the credits list, so... Okay, give me a sec to get it set up, and I'll pop in for a bit. He's like, I wish I knew how to quit you, man. I know how it goes. To steal from my friend Jericho Green. Yeah, you gotta love it, man. You got to love it. Let me see if I can find this cat. Where is this cat? This cat's got 9 lives. That's why his friends call him Whiskers. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this sent there. There you go. It is in. The check is in the mail, guys. But it's so crazy because a lot goes on in New England during spooky season, as you guys know, and in Lovecraft Country. And one of the things that's been really interesting is I've been following this YouTuber named Derek Millen. And Derek Millen does trips during the Halloween October season to Salem to record all of and live, blog all of the festivities. And it's really amazing. I am working on great question. Drawn Sword Graphics. It's great to see you, my friend. I am working on page 1 of Nosfero 2, Death Will Die. And all today, I have been working on, let me see. What are all of the crazy things I'm working on? So, we're almost to just 24 hours left on the final 30 days of the Nosfero Second Chance campaign. I am, of course, starting to work on, and I had already started working on the Nosfero 2, Death Will Die. And then today, and my brother Rock will know all about this because him and I were texting last night about this. I am, of course, getting the campaign for Springball Terminal Monstrosity. And I finally have the pitch for it. It's always tough for me to boil down what I do to a pitch. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not like, it's just so tough for me. I think it's essential. And it's something that always is always harder for me to do than some of the other stuff. Thank you. God bless you. And hail Razor Fist. That I love. Dude, Bruce Campbell's chin. Okay, listen. This is getting scary. I want to point out this was my lead-in. And Rocky can back me up on this. My brother Rocky when he gets in here, okay? But I was just about to say, my pitch for my next campaign for this comic book Springball I did that I'm putting the story together and wrapping it up. I started 2002. I'm reworking the art and everything like that. The pitch for it, Bruce Campbell's chin, and hail and thank you, is, I can't believe your name is Bruce Campbell's chin. Let me be really clear about this. I cannot believe that because my pitch for Springball it's Evil Dead meets Spider-Man. That's my pitch for it, and I just came up with that the other night. My hero's personality is Ash for all intents and purposes. So imagine my shock at seeing that. I was just leading into that, but I said, what is this? How would I describe this comic? I'm sold, says Bruce Campbell's chin. Thank you. But it's Spider-Man meets, and it's digital. It's it's traditional and digital because I'm reworking the pen and inks from it. But it's very much my my crazy sort of McFarlane, Ditko. Who else would be in there? Some people have said Michael Golden, but I think that's a little bit too high praise sometimes. I tread carefully on Michael Golden. But also there's the animation aspect of it. There's some animation influence in it. But it is, I was just, when I realized that's what I was doing with that story. That's who my hero is. Is that he's, in many ways, he's Ash, personality-wise. I just went, okay, now I know what this is. Now I really know what this character's about. So I'm glad you're sold. I think you're going to love it. But yeah, Spider-Man meets Evil Dead. Because what I've loved, and I know a lot of you guys probably know this who are fans of Evil Dead, is that, first of all, if you've watched the hand fight scene from Evil Dead 2, you know as well as I do that Bruce Campbell should no longer be with us. That no hands front flip onto his back, onto the ground, and not to mention his running through the house and going through all of those crawl spaces, that dude is one of the most incredible physical performers, physical comedians I've seen. He gets into some Buster Keaton level stuff in Evil Dead 2. It's incredible. And that's what I wanted to do. Like when you're just under the gun, everything is going wrong. You're trying to pry your head out from inside of the fangs of, weird fiction, Lovecraftian beast. That's the stuff I love. And I love Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2. They're so good. Oh, don't worry, Emo, you're here now. Channel member Emo, and I should say channel member Michael Bancroft. Hail to both of you. Yes, Sam Raimi loves torturing him on set. Not to mention his brother, which I didn't realize, that I don't know how I missed this, that was his brother in the mom in the basement Crypt suit. Holy cow. Like when they were talking about how the suit ripped when he was lifted up in the air and all that stuff. But I love the percussive physical comedy and action of that. And I've always loved when I'm doing action scenes in Spring Ball, which I used to say it's a super horror comic, not a superhero comic book, or it's a super horror hero. That it was, what's the word I would describe? It's street level Lovecraft. And I think there's something about Ash that is street level Lovecraft. Like he's not like trying to stop, universal horrors. It's a little bit more like not even the Dunwich Horror, I wouldn't even say. It's a little bit more like the thing, not even the thing on the doorstep. I'm trying to think of the best Lovecraft story for this. But it's just a little outside of seeing, Wilbur Whately's brother, twin. You know what I mean? Henrietta, thank you, in the basement. I mean, that is it, And maybe that's why both in oftentimes in my ethos and in my artwork, when I'm doing more pen and ink stuff, I'm so influenced by Steve Ditko. Because Steve Ditko he's just a brilliant artist, and he really knew. You're absolutely right. And I'm sorry, emo trash. Yeah, I told myself I was going to bed by 1. Well, clearly not now. And Bruce Campbell's chin, the most fortuitous timing I think I've ever seen someone coming into a chat. Sam Raimi loves torturing him on set. You're absolutely right. And thank you for being sold on the premise. I really do appreciate it. And I am, yes, rest in peace, Ghost of Badlands. Who knows? It might come back. I have faith in it working out. Back the book after your appearance on Razor Fist for his launch of Ghost of the Badlands. Yes, I appreciate that so much. I had a blast. Razor Fist has just been a really great supporter of the stuff that I do. And I'm obviously a fan of the stuff that he's doing, so I have nothing but high praise for his advocacy for pulp, his passion for comics. We share a passion for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I would also tell you what I've said to him. I was much more into Lovecraft. I never really got into R.E. Howard because, to me, R.E. Howard was Conan, and I don't have a problem with Conan, but it's not my big go-to. And Razor Fist did me the incredible service of introducing me to Solomon Kane. And Solomon Kane has rapidly become one of my, if not my favorite character in fiction. I absolutely love Solomon Kane. And not only did I get the audiobooks, which are fantastic, but I also picked up the Solomon Kane, hardcover collection. And speaking of fun folks, I'm going to have to do 2 things here. Let me do this, if this works. Nope, not that one. This one. And then let me assign this to here, and then assign this to, see if I can make this happen, to Mr. Rocky. How are you doing? What's up, dude? How are you doing?
Good. Doing all right. Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise, didn't know I was doing this.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I'm an amazing planner. If you know nothing else about me, I'm just always trying to stay ahead of the madness. But I will tell you, your video on your Mike Zeck study was awesome.
Thanks,
loved
man.
it, dude.
Thank you.
Loved it.
Thanks. Yeah, that was fun. I spent a little bit more time than I thought I was on it, but it's one of those things where, like, when you start working on something and you catch the vision for it or the fire in it, and you're like, oh, I can't stop, and I gotta like finish it up. So I was up till about 3 this morning finishing the edit on it. But it was good.
As my wife, who you know well, And let me answer this question too. I've seen the movie for Solomon Kane, and I love it. I think it's great. I understand it's giving, an origin story that wasn't a part of the character, but I agree with Razor Fist on its quality, and I have it in heavy rotation. I have it on Blu-ray. But my wife and I watched your video on Mike Zeck today, and guys, if you're not subscribed to Rocky's channel, for heaven's sake do, and agreed, Nintendo Ginger, love me some classic TMNT. But if you're not subscribed to Rocky's channel, check it out. But my wife and I were watching your Mike Zeck, like what, your wrap up of what you did, and then the playlist of all those videos. And my wife said something to me I thought was I know you'd agree with, but I thought it was honest and insightful. She said he needed this. He's clearly somebody who was needing to do this because of how much you've poured yourself into it. It's like
into the video.
Well, just into all of it. Like, you jumped in with both feet. It's like giving someone who needs to paint a paintbrush and then just watching them go. You know what I'm saying? It's like you were meant for that.
Thanks. I mean, you were the one who pushed me into the deep end.
I like to do that.
Gently, I'd say gently.
Yeah, it's sort of like nagging is a good way of describing it. But Drawn Sword Graphics says, I was watching your Mike Zeck vid. There you go.
Nice. Thanks, Drawn Sword. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a great time. I loved it.
I think because I'd been doing those live streams for the master study on that. But this is the awesome thing about YouTube. I think it was like I was actually talking to the chat as I was doing these live streams and saying, hey, would you guys be interested in if I did a short little video saying, these are the top things that I learned in this process? Because some of those live streams are 3+ hours long because I'm just sitting there drawing, and you can, you lose kind of track of time. But I was thinking, if I just summarized what I learned, because I'm getting something out of doing them, not just finishing the page, but you're learning things about yourself, learning things about the artist, learning things about the craft. So yeah, I asked the chat, and they're like, yeah, they were down with it. So that was a big reason why I did it, is because the chat said, like, do it. It sounds good. So it was motivation for me to say, if the chat, if there's an audience out there for it, I'll spend the time to do it. And then once I started doing it, I'm like, it'd be cool if I did this shot and edited this way. And then, the ball gets rolling. So yeah, it was super fun.
I mean, I think that it's funny because I was just talking about, Evil Dead. And I'm telling you, you know what we talked about last night. We were messaging back and forth.
Yes.
I don't know if you were watching the chat, but just as I was about to talk about
I
my
had it
pitch,
in the back, yeah. Yes, yeah. I heard.
Bruce Campbell's chin came in here. And I went, wait a minute.
Yes.
Listen, I believe in being helped by hidden hands in this world, but this is getting terrifying. This is, it's kind of amazing, but it was the thing that was so funny about that is that, we've known each other for a long time, and I sent Rocky the rough of the last page, and Rocky was like, what could work really well is if you change this dialogue up to be this. And it was like, yes, that's what that's what we've done for 30 years.
Well, the dialogue was awesome. It's awesome already, guys. I mean, not to give away anything, but it's just an epic saying. I don't even know say. It just like catapults you to the finish line of that arc or that series or just Spring Ball, the origin of Spring Ball. So I loved it. It was just it just felt so right. But yeah, there's just a couple little grammar things. I was like, I don't know.
Well, grammar is being modest. What Rocky said is, he said, this is incredibly racist.
Yeah.
And you need to stop and maybe talk to somebody. And I was like going, well, I didn't know. And he said, so stop it. And I did, of course. I was mortified to have Rocky see that part of me. But it's like, because you go back to the early, like the only people who go back, the only person who goes back earlier to my comic book journey is my friend from childhood, Zachary Hartford Cullis. who I reached out to recently. He's back some of the books. I've talked to him still. But
no kidding.
You go back the furthest. Like,
that's crazy.
Was the kid in elementary school who gave me the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles graphic novel of the Mirage
That's amazing.
stuff. He introduced me. He goes, we're gonna be comic fans now. And I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, that was kind of what because, it was like making friends wasn't always that easy after that move. But this dude was really cool. And he was like, and he's like, you're going to be Punisher and I'm going to be the Hulk. And I'm like, the Green Hulk? He's like, nah, man, Hulk is gray now. So he showed me, and I got into Punisher when I saw Punisher Limited Series 2 by Mike Zeck. Utterly, this gets so creepy how this stuff works out. And he was a big fan of Hulk because there was this brand new artist that barely anyone had heard of on Hulk named Todd McFarlane that he was a fan of. And he introduced me and he goes, this guy's awesome. And I went, you're right.
Did you see? I know I think you've talked about this on stream before, but because New York Comic Con's going on, they just showed the pre-orders open for the Hulk figure, the Todd Hulk figure. Did you see that?
Yes.
The one with the breaking through the word Hulk.
I ordered those on his website like the second they dropped, dude. I'm like,
what was the other one?
The Hulk versus Wolverine. The Wolverine.
Oh, the Wolverine.
With the claws.
With the claws. Yes.
This is like something out of a sick childhood dream, dude. It's like you sent me, just so you know that John Malin and I are not the only freaking degenerates, okay, in this world. Rocky posted on Twitter, and I then shared with John Malin the Rob Liefeld Vault Edition that's coming out. Because we get so much crap for liking Rob Liefeld. People are like, but how you paint? How the hell can you like Rob Liefeld? And I say, love is love. It's 2024. Love is love. What's
Rob's
up,
stuff
Simply
is
Green?
Rob's stuff is tame to love these days. His stuff, he is not even close to controversial to love his stuff. No, there's something. Did you see that? You saw the video of him talking about the pages? Did you see that one?
No, I couldn't bear it. It was too exciting. But I did.
He's like sitting in a chair with a pile of originals on his lap, and he's just flipping through them, going, "Oh, I can't wait for you to see these." And it's just like,
that's a great Rob.
I
have no idea. Really, Simply Green.
I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, man. I am a huge fan of his stuff, and I dig the hell out of the fact that so many of these artists that we're fans of, and you thought, I'm never gonna see this artwork like up close unless I go to a con, are doing, vault editions. Like, I have the entire Todd McFarlane run of Spawn originals. I have many.
You have the
Spider-Man.
vault edition of Spawn?
Yes, both of them. The first two.
Those are so hard to find. I didn't even know they made them. I can't remember what, but I actually just literally looked up a couple of days ago on eBay. I was like, oh wait, they have vault editions for. Oh, I know why, because they announced they're doing a third volume, but it's Greg Capullo's stuff, which is great, but
not Todd, baby.
It's not Todd on Spawn. Yeah. So I was like, wait, they did Spawn vault editions, and they had two of them, and I'd looked them up, and they're so hard to find now. So
he'll re-release them because he's Todd, and he's down with capitalism.
Yes.
But here's the thing about it, right? Is that is my fault. If you ever miss a Todd McFarlane thing, it is 100% my fault for not texting you. Like, I should have texted you immediately. Hail, channel member Spaceman. It is great to see you. He's dropping some e-dogs in the chat. Yeah, you're not winding down now, Emo. It's not happening.
No.
You're up all night, sleep all day.
That's right.
But, I mean...
You're in the wrong place if you're trying to look for sleep. If you're on Sean's channel.
God knows. God knows. But it's one of those things where, like when I look at the Spring Ball pages and I'm working back into those and I'm writing that, of course, I'm going back to that time with a little bit of, what was a weird influence on Spring Ball? And you can really see it on this one page where the text blends in with the city and it says, come back here on it in issue 2. Will Eisner was an influence on that. The way he uses
I can see
type in buildings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can see that. Yeah.
And he's another artist you've done studies of, right?
He is. Yeah. I just pinned up the page today. Hang on.
Nice. Yeah, if you're not subscribed to Rocky's channel, you are missing out, guys. We got to get him to 1,000 subscribers. That's one of my goals. Oh, nice. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can mess with this. Hang on. I'm going to unlock you, and then I'm going to just drag, because it's Ecamm.
Whoa. Is that on focus? I can't tell if it's on focus or not.
It's not
Am
really
I
that
focus?
A little bit, but are you doing an manual?
I'm trying now. Okay, wait. Give me a second. I'm like
That's
seeing
better.
it on delay.
That's closer. Yeah.
Better?
Now, probably if you move it in front of you a little bit, then it's going to focus better. But, oh, dude, look at that. Yeah, because you're in a square.
Yeah, so I just finished this up.
up.
I just finished this up last week, I think it was.
That's right. That must have been something.
It was painful.
He's painful, and Hale Awesome One says, brothers back together again. Shanth and Rocky,
Yeah.
amen, we are.
What's up,
Channel
Awesome
member
One?
Rockstar. Yep. And there's
How
the
are you
link to
doing?
Rocky's YouTube channel. He's just dropped the link for it. So, guys, subscribe to Rocky's
Sorry.
YouTube channel. We're almost to 500, by the way.
No.
We're almost to 500 subs. We're at 300 and what?
Last I checked was 359, I think.
Yeah, so we're getting there, dude. It will happen.
Yeah. No, it will.
happen.
It will. You know what? I think I so appreciate like every single subscription. You know what I mean? Like I'm still at that stage where I like appreciate everyone, and I know you're still at that too. It's just like you realize there's so much content out there exactly of what I'm doing, or similar space to what I'm doing. So I just appreciate when people subscribe and like show up, and the people that come really want to be there. So, or it feels like they really want to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate every single subscription. And what's up, Bruce Kimball's chin? Nice.
Yep,
I got a chin. You're my first chin. Amazing.
There it is. Excellent. And Spaceman channel member says, Shanth, my wife and I are watching House of Wax on Svengoolie. Excellent. Love it. Labyrinth is on after. Love Svengoolie.
Wow.
Love all of those hosted horror shows. And, I got to say this too. It's the exact same thing with me with every single backer. Bruce Campbell's chin saw me on Razor Fist channel and, said he backed Nosfero. But all of these guys in the chat, all of these guys and gals, dare I say, who have backed Nosfero, who show up for these streams, and ghouls, boys and ghouls, are just, I can never take it for granted, because we couldn't have imagined this time, man. It's incredible.
No way.
It's incredible.
No, it's great. I just appreciate it because I know, like, I'm actually pretty particular about who I subscribe to as well. I'm not a willy-nilly like subscribe to everything. And so the things that I subscribe to and the things that I watch, I really want to watch and support and be there. So yeah, it's awesome. It's been really fun building this channel up and just getting to do these things. And, it's like, you can do it whatever you want. I can stay up till 3 a.m. editing a crazy video about what I learned replicating a Mike Zeck page. You can't write that script anywhere. So yeah, it's fun.
And speaking of awesome folks, and love this dude, subscribe to Everything Good, only Notification Squad for the best. Amen, man. It's totally true. And I got to tell you, Random, and thank you again. I was just singing your praises about all of the freaking memberships you've been donating, and I really do appreciate that. I can't overstate that. But it's true. Like when there are channels that bring so much to my day. Like they'll talk about something exciting or share something with me or take a road trip somewhere that I haven't been to, and I'll learn something new. They put me in such a good mood, and it's very cool, because I don't think that in this space you can, or in any space really, in terms of you can't long fake being interested in something. It's too much work, and if you're really
it's a
into
lot of
things,
work.
You know what I mean? It's like, if
Yeah.
you're not into something, you're going to be hating it by the time that you're, like, I have no doubt that Razor Fist is a massive fan of The Shadow. Because he has a YouTube channel dedicated to The Shadow. And is, like, encyclopedic about it. And he's the same way with Westerns. And he's not faking it. And it's the same thing with you. You are so passionate about comics, but you're also passionate about the craft and the broadcasting thing from your animation background. You really love to make the best presentation,
Yeah, it's hard to let that go. And when you realize that, when it's not necessarily for a deadline or a project or something that you're paid for, and you're still doing it, then you realize, like, oh, okay, this is something I love. This has nothing to do with, like, oh, I'm just doing my job and, like, getting the project done or hitting the deadline. This is just something the passion is the fuel that keeps you going. So yeah.
I mean, I had 2 streams in a row on Saturday where we were getting wind. I think it was from a storm. It had clearly knocked our internet out and it wasn't working. And it's one of the few times you'll see me get really frustrated because I had just come up with this new camera system that's just going straight from my iPhone, so it gets really good resolution. It's so much better than other stuff. And I'm like, yes, it's working, and then that doesn't work. And Lauren will see me sometimes, and she'll go, babe, it's okay if it doesn't work. And I'm like, no, I have to get the steam on the pizza. I have to run this one more pass on this video so I can have the pizza steam.
I have to get the steam on the pizza.
Because I've had, and I want people to have a great time. And when something happens where it doesn't work, it's so frustrating on Pizza Live. But more often than not, that attention to detail, it's all, whether it's comics or anything else, and you guys know this, we want this to be an amazing, fun time for you guys when you come in here, because we're passionate about what we do. And even the especially the YouTube stuff, we're being passionate about multiple things. And we've been that way since we've known each other for at least 30 years. We've known each other. That we've been like that, Well,
I think, you can trace it back to the roots of just being excited about a comic or an artist or a movie or whatever, and that passion is contagious, right? And so, like, if you are so into something, and I think this is why I love comics so much, because regardless of whether you like so for example, one of the things that I'm talking about on my stream, and I'm going to do a more in-depth video on, is the new Batman that came out. Absolute Batman issue 1 just came out, and the range of people's response to that, because it's a new Batman, quote unquote, they're kind of reinventing Batman, and people people really, really love it, like myself, or people really hate it, and there's a whole gamut in between. But I love that, and I love that there's a conversation about it. I love that there's a debate about it. I love that people are passionate on both ends of the spectrum of it. And it just shows that they care so much about whatever Batman means to them, or whatever that story is to them. Same thing with Star Wars, right? Same thing with
I don't know if I agree with that. I find that when someone disagrees with me, I go into an instant murderous rage.
That's pretty trendy. That's pretty trendy. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you know what's so funny is that about all this stuff is that the debate back in the good old days, the debate was the fun part of being a nerd.
Yes.
Who's
going to win in a fight? Who's going to win in a fight? Superman or Batman? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah,
we didn't have my dad will kick your dad's ass as much as we had. What do you call it? Right. Superman would curb stomp Hulk. Curb stomp him.
Right. Like that.
And hail random. Yep.
This is one of the books I picked up. Recently they released the facsimile edition, Superman versus Wonder Woman. I mean, this is drawn by Jose Garcia Lopez, right? One of my favorites. Yeah. And but like that and it's crazy. It's a crazy story, but like that kind of stuff was so fun and just made us like excited to have those debates, have those conversations. And you really cared, you really cared about what you loved. And so, going back to what I was saying, I think for us, that's what initially drew us together as friends, our common interest in comics. And then you would introduce me to something, like you introduced me to like Tim Vigil.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. That you didn't
Hard liquor?
Like that.
No.
Hard liquor. God Almighty, Rocky! How did you ever become my friend, dude?
Right.
I swear to God.
See, comics. That's the power of comics,
yes,
because
right.
nothing else. We have nothing else in common.
Yeah. So let me tell you this: if you guys want to understand our relationship, and I know it is far from a perfect show or even close to an adaptation of actual Sherlock Holmes, but watch the show Sherlock when Watson drags Holmes out of the crack den he's in when he falls out of the wagon, and he's like, he goes in there and just grabs him, beats up a couple people, and drags Sherlock out, and he's like all red-eyed. That's how we met, dude. That's bad.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, amen.
But yeah, I think that that was like a commonality that we had, and then it just grew from there, because I remember every time I walked into your dorm room or whatever, your apartment, it would be, I would get something new, something else that Shanth was excited about, or like, hey, have you checked this? Like, you were the one who introduced me to like John Woo Hard Boiled, which is one of my absolute favorite movies. Really? Absolute favorite action movies. Yeah.
No, I didn't know I introduced you to that, because I was so out of it. Oh, no. I
remember it. Because I can't remember. I think I was trying to reference some sort of action sequence, and like, you're like, have you ever seen Hard Boiled? You need to watch Hard Boiled for reference. And I'm like, what's Hard Boiled? And you're like, oh my gosh. And you pulled out the VHS tape, and we watched the whole movie. And I had it letterboxed. I remember that. I ordered it special letterboxed, because I was like, that was a thing, to get a VHS tape that had the black bars so you could see the composition. Yes. And we watched that to death. Like a million times. Yes.
Yep. That
we would watch
you out of the opium den. Sorry. He dragged me out. Let's be clear what that was about. Howdy, Chrome. 100%. Yep.
I remember like we would watch The Fifth Element religiously over and over again. We would watch The Crow. The Crow was huge, and I love The Crow. Like, we would watch that. So all those kind of things that we got and we shared with one, like, I still carry those joys, those passions with me now today, and it has shaped like who I am and the things that I like now. So it's amazing that comics can do that. Like, I mean, we have more than that. We have more than comics in common for sure, but that was the start of it, and it's pretty incredible that it's kind of carried us this long.
Yeah. Oh man.
Now this weird YouTube thing.
This weird YouTube thing, and it's also we talk about things like The Crow, and we talk about things like comics, but we got to experience. We kind of missed the party, unfortunately. We sort of were there for the cleanup. But during our pop culture heyday in our youth, we were there for a lot of crazy indie things. And I think we're now getting to get in when it's actually still happening, which is nice. Right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like the whole Image. I mean, pre-Image was like the independents we were talking about, right? But
Ninja Turtles.
Image really.
Rips.
Yeah. Tim Vigil. You introduced me to Tim Vigil, and I'm like, what is
Yeah.
But he's so good. He's really good at drawing what he likes to draw.
That's the best way of putting it. But you know what else it was too is that I got introduced freshman year to The Rocketeer and Dave Stevens, and that melted my mind. Like everything I do, the fact that I love the 30s and the 20s and the 40s is 100%. Freshman year, Alan Reingold introduced me to Jimmy Cagney and Humphrey Bogart movies, and then Rocketeer was also introduced to me. And I love that because that is such a time capsule for me. I taped The Crow off TV to VHS and watched it 24 times, I'm sure. 100%.
So good.
And yeah, when I was a kid, I was super into old Italian westerns, old TV shows like MASH and Hogan's Heroes, 100%. Love, lots of people these days have never seen them, and you're so right. Incredible writing. Just incredible stuff. My God.
Yeah, really good. I remember when I was a kid in elementary school, I've talked about this on my stream before, but like we had, there was a few movies that were like passed around on VHS that everybody would like record their copy off of or get a dub from somebody else. And mine was like, I had Akira, I had Tron, and I remember how crappy the tracking on those tapes were because it was like several generations. Oh, but
photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy.
That's right.
Oh my God.
We just poured over those movies.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because one of the things that's been fun about Comicsgate and has been fun about this space and fun about like everybody who's creating, and like it's a very weird thing because some of the stuff I watch I just think is a part of this new independent thing, like Grim Life Collective or whatever else, is all sort of like a part of this time. And I think that one of the things that is so cool is I get exposed to things that I revisit things people swear by. One of the things I never got around to watching, Sergio Leone I've got so many of his Blu-rays over there. It's ridiculous.
The master.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico, or sorry, not Mexico, in Once Upon a Time in the West. That's why I did that Woody Strode painting. Love so many shots and so many moments. But
one of the best sound designs too in that movie.
Oh God, yes. I mean,
the audio in that movie is amazing.
Waiting for the Train and that line from Bronson where he says, "You brought too many." About the horses they brought. He goes, "We seem to be shy one horse." No, we brought two. I mean, that's the most badass thing I've ever heard, man. Yep. My name is nobody. 100%. Yeah. I mean, the guy could do comedy. He could do anything. But it's true. You know, we look at this stuff and we think about, like, I revisited because of folks like Cecil, folks like Grim Life Collective were a huge proponent of this. I didn't know that I was a huge Child's Play fan, even made a fan film, did all this stuff, never realized that the writer-director of Child's Play was
like
also
Chucky
the
Child's
writer.
Play?
Yes, Chucky Child's Play. Was also the writer of, what's it called? Psycho 2, which is one of the greatest, shouldn't be a good sequels ever. Anthony Perkins just is incredible in it. Like, he does this.
I haven't seen it.
Yes, it's like if you go into it thinking it's a Hitchcock thing or whatever, why would they make a sequel? Don't do it that way. If you go into it going, what if they did a character study of Norman Bates at this many years later? It's haunting. Perkins is a genius. And but anyway, but he also wrote and directed the movie Fright Night, which I had never seen. And I love Fright Night now because of the people who've introduced me to it and said, you've got.
All I know about Fright Night is that poster, that iconic poster.
That terrifies you and makes you
and
want to watch it.
That's
right?
why I never watched the movie because of
it's
that
absolutely
poster.
right. I tell people that. I go, that scared the crap out of me at my age. So yeah, back when I was a kid, and then I was like, I watched it and went, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I love this. It's so good. So love Fright Night. Yeah, and Leon.
I just heard that
everything. You know, go ahead.
I just heard they're releasing some special 4K version, I think, of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they just announced that they're releasing. Yeah.
Isn't it weird to think we were there for that stuff being invented? Like, Freddy was new at one point.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. What's that character? I don't know. I'm not big on horror stuff. People that subscribe to my channel know that I always talk about horror. I'm like, it's not for me. But there's that new, isn't there like a clown horror character right now? Yes. What's that movie? What's it called?
If you are not into horror, definitely never watch one of those movies. Like,
what is the movie?
Let me tell you something. Okay, so the
is it called Terrifier?
Yes, it's accurately described in its title, okay?
Oh, God.
Terrifier is absolutely, like, Terrifier is a movie that Leatherface goes, damn! Like, that's how freaking violent it is, okay?
Oh, no.
I mean, holy cow.
Did you see it in the theater?
I was curious to find out what it was about. I did not see it in the theater. I've not seen the new one or any of that stuff. And I said, I hear this movie
It's a clown,
is
right?
really
It's
intense.
a clown.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a clown called... You guys know what his name is. What the heck is his name? It's something really...
It's not Terrifier?
No. He has a name that is... shoot. He's got a name. Art the Clown. Thank you. The chat has it. Emo has it. Art the Clown. And the thing that's so... It is such
Art.
a...
What
yes,
a weird,
Art.
like, not scary name. His name is Howard. Howard the Clown.
Yeah, his name is Bartholomew.
Right.
You know, or Milton. But that's what makes it work. And so I decided there's this channel I was watching for something else called, of all the weird things I look at, called Kill Count. That is a horror movie review, and it tells you what the count of kills were and how they take place in a movie. And the Terrifier cropped up as one of the options. And I said, well, I wonder what that movie's about. The Grim Life Collective did a video about locations and talked to them. And I went, sweet baby. Like, that is just intense. Howard the Duck was pretty terrifying, says Random McRanderson, 100%, man. You know, oh my lord. But yeah, that movie, if you do not have a tolerance for straight up gore, it ain't your thing.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
It's a bit much for the average cat. But you know,
I'm trying
for
to
people
think
who
what
love
the
horror,
last. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing out because it's a pretty big genre, like way bigger now. I think way more mainstream now. Horror is, both in like films and even comics. There's a lot of horror comics coming out. And I feel like I'm missing out, but it's just not me.
Well, you know, it's like a lot of things. It's you know, to me, I would rather see somebody who knows what they're into and what they're not into than have someone try to be into it. Rocky is just a lightweight. It's okay. Yeah, let me tell you something. Terrifier is perfect, and I will not be convinced otherwise. Go on with your bad self, emo trash.
I think I saw a video just recently of somebody dressing up like that clown, but like he goes in the hood. And like, does the clown have a horn, or maybe they were just doing it for the joke, for the practical joke?
No, I don't know.
But he came out around the corner and he had a horn, and basically like scared this guy walking in the hood, and the guy like dropped his backpack and was about to just fight the clown, but you could tell he was like scared at the same time, and the clown would not talk to him. He just kept squeezing the horn. It was kind of funny, but kind of scary at the same time.
Darkness falls, stay in the light. Amen. Yeah. My thing with clowns is I don't find them funny. I wouldn't say I find them terrifying, but in certain cinematic contexts I get why they work. The stuff that creeps me out tends to be weirder. Jordan Horst, channel member, and thank you so much, says, I find the 9 out of 10 of all horror movies are awful and just gore, which I'm not a fan of. I like Hitchcock. I like The Shining. Hell yeah, that movie, though, is terrifying. Ugh. I like thrillers and suspense. I agree. Yeah. The Shining, I once watched The Shining, and it kept me up for 3 years. It's the kind of movie that if you see it when you're young, you're like, well, I'll never sleep again.
Yes. Yeah. You know? Absolutely. Yeah.
It's something.
I think I saw most of The Exorcist when I was really young, and that freaked the crap out of me. Remember, I watched Blair Witch at your apartment.
Yes, that'll happen.
And we watched it on VHS tape,
which was perfect. And it's a perfect way to
it was
experience
perfect.
it.
Yes. And I remember watching it afterwards, I was like, oh, okay. Like, that was cool. And then afterwards, I started thinking about it. I'm like, that was messed up. And I kept thinking about it. I'm like, that was really messed up.
Yeah, and that's scary because, like, and I got to say, you're right, Random McGranderson. He says, you're not necessarily missing out if you don't like it. I like certain genres of horror, but lots of stuff is just not my taste. I prefer horror in books or comics and art. Yeah, my favorite horror is Bernie Wrightson artwork. That stuff is legit incredible. He's so good.
Yeah.
But, the Blair Witch Project...
Shanth, have you heard... Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, please. I
was just going to say, have you seen this artist, Kyle Hotz, Hotz?
No, I haven't.
He has like a... Oh, man. He has like a huge... Bernie Wrightson. He did the Lobo cancellation special. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen it.
And then he just did... It just came out this week. Sorry, totally nerding out. Just came out this week. He did a issue 2 of Violator. Let me see if I can do my overhead cam, because you got to see this. Let me see if I can get my overhead cam set up.
Yeah, because if you get that going, I can share it in the center.
How can I do that? Share screen. Oh, yeah. Dang! You need Google Chrome.
I love the way you reacted to that.
Like when people join.
No, people share. You can add a camera. You totally can. Because
how?
I don't know exactly how it works, but Eric, I don't know. Eric has shared screens before. It's definitely an option because he's shared screens before that I can then move into this space.
Oh, maybe it's because I'm on Safari right now.
Why would you be on?
Should I call back with Chrome?
You may.
Do you mind if I call back in Chrome?
Yes, of
using
course.
Chrome?
Call me back with Chrome, man.
Okay.
I'll see you in a sec.
Right, I'll be back.
So, just catching up, if you've seen the TV show 11/22/26, yes, the scenes where time punishes him for trying to make changes are legitimately scary without any monsters and gore. Yes, we did watch that, and it was terrifying. Bruce Campbell's Chin says, horror comedies, intentionally or unintentionally, are greater. Yeah, I have to tell you, I really think there's something special about what Sam Raimi did. With those movies, to me, are iconic with Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 is just incredible as a film. Junji Ito, that's right, got a series recently. His stuff is unique. Yes, his stuff is incredibly unique and beautiful. That and Tremors. Let me tell you something, guys. Oh, yes, the Kennedy. I knew what you meant. The Stephen King Kennedy time travel story. Yes. That and Tremors. Listen, the missus and I absolutely love Tremors. I must tell you. We love Tremors. So there we are. Sweet. Let's see if it works. I don't know how it works, but...
Let me see. Hang on.
Yep.
Share screen.
That must be it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it works. I'm just realizing maybe it was...
Like a share screen, like a website or something?
Yeah, maybe it's more works for that a little bit, but there's probably a way to do it and trick it.
Oh, I wonder if I can...
Yeah, close. Random McGranderson says, close all the prawn first. Yes, 100%. Always be careful. I love Anna and the Apocalypse. I haven't seen that. Oh, I got the year wrong. Yeah, well, I knew it wasn't the 20s. I knew what you were saying. But yeah, my wife and I showed our kids Tremors because we love that movie. That is a really fun movie. Tremors with, oh my gosh, Kevin Bacon and all those amazing actors in it. Such a great flick. It really got me a little bit nervous about the desert, I have to tell you. I'd never thought about it before. But graboids scare me. It's a musical zombie film from the UK. Yes, what do you call it? Anna and the Apocalypse. You know what was crazy? It was the, the Train to Busan that Ethan was talking about? I haven't seen it, but now I kind of want to see it because so many people have recommended it. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have seen Train to Busan, but I've heard good things from most people, so hopefully it'll be good. I'd also recommend SCP short films, 096, Dollhouse, and Overlord. Oh, sounds good. When I was a kid, there were some legit scary scenes in E.T. Yes, absolutely. Spielberg does it effortlessly. He does. Yeah, E.T. was rough. Yes, Train to Busan was good, says Emo Trash. Same, I haven't seen Train yet. Yeah, I haven't either. I'm really curious to see it, and this seems like this would be the season to see it, you know? It's like, oh, that could be cool. And I really loved Kingdom, the Korean, I don't know if you'd call it a K-drama, it was a K-horror of feudal Korea and zombies. That was a freaking terrifying show. Had some legitimately scary stuff in it. How's it going, man?
A little confusing here. If I could pull this off, let's see. I just don't want to have like a triple screen.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that'll work. Let's see. But this guy, Kyle, I've seen him do like a lot of covers, but he's been doing some like one shots and complete stories, and he's really good. Talk about like Bernie writes and kind of influence.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if I can turn off this and then this might. Oops. Okay, this might work. Let's see if we can do this.
All right. I know what you're probably... Yeah, it's like... So, hey, it's working, I think. Let me switch this out. Let me see if I can do... Now I just got to do... Bang! There you go!
Hang on, the color's all crazy.
Oh, I can adjust it.
See, this...
I can adjust
this
that.
is... No, I can do it. Here, I got it.
Okay.
This is what you get when you get... as we were saying at the beginning of the stream... Like when we are like so particular about the way things look and like...
Yeah, we are.
All right, cool. Oh, yeah, it worked. Nice. All right, so yeah, this came out maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But look at his stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Like he's... let me get to like a double page spread or something.
Oh, dude, look at that stuff, though. It's funny too. He reminds me of the other guy who's influenced by Bernie,
Kelly Jones.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can see the Kelly Jones in that too.
Look at that Lobo. That is so cool. But
Yep.
I'll show you the Violator has some incredible double page spreads, and then they even in the back of it, they showed some of his black and white. Look at that. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really good.
I mean, some people say, what's love got to do with it? But I think it's got everything to do with it, man. And I'm gonna switch let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna switch cameras real quick just to stay there.
Sure.
Don't flip any more pages because I want to make sure I figure this out here. So Sean's iPhone camera, here you go. Speaking of Kelly Jones, Dracula by Kelly Jones
I saw this.
and Matt Wagner.
Yes,
and
I saw that.
I like that, honestly, and I couldn't, I think it was a very expensive tier. I have to see what pages I can actually show on screen, because he makes Nosfero look PG by some of the stuff that he shows in here. But I really wish this was, I was able to afford, because it was more expensive, the black and white of this. God, I really cannot flip to any pages without just full frontal nudity. It's
they had a black and white book.
They had a black and white edition of this, but I think it was way more pricey. And it was like a special limited version, but I would have much rather had this in black and white when I look at it. The color is all fine and good, but this is work that should be black and white, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like the level of detail he puts in. Look at this, dude.
Yeah. That's...
Look at
I actually never used...
Beautiful.
I didn't appreciate Kelly Jones' artwork when I was younger, but I didn't either. I really like it now as I've gotten older. I don't know what it is, but just one of the artist editions that's kind of in my targets as far as to buy is the Batman artist edition.
Yeah,
that they have of his work.
Which thing are we talking about? Those pages look huge. Do you mean on the Kelly Jones? It is. That's a very good question, because I think. I don't know if I have my ruler here, but it is. Oh, you know what? I have Nosfero though, so that, or my art books. It's It's just over 8.5. It's not 9, and it looks like it's 11. So it's probably 8.5 by 11 hardback. So yeah, it's as big as Nosfero is. This book. So it's bigger than a comic. Nice spot varnish.
They have it. They released a soft cover at local comic book stores now, I've seen.
Oh, is it black and white or color?
No, I didn't see a black and white version. It's a color.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I know what they were trying to do with the color, and I appreciate that they were, doing that. But Violator, there you go.
Yeah, look at this.
Holy.
Look at this.
Snap.
This is the same artist, Kyle Hotz. But look at that.
Yeah.
Holy.
I dig it.
But I'll show you some of the spreads, and then I'll show you look at that. That's so cool.
Oh my God, that's the kind of attention to detail that only OCD can provide. You gotta love it.
Look
man.
at that. Like this is the there's some spreads in here where like it's by far the best Violator, like better than Todd's Violator.
Don't ever
look
say
at this.
that in my presence.
Look at
There's
this.
Nothing better.
Come on.
It's good, but nothing to me.
Look at that Violator.
Never. But you know what's so funny about this? And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I realize it's not everybody's cup of tea, and it's not everybody is meant to do this. But whenever I see someone really good now, and maybe that's my problem sometimes, is that I really want to see them do their own stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I know we can't live in a world where everybody does their own stuff, and not everybody wants to do their own stuff. But I really want to see... like, oh man, look at the black and whites in the back. See, I don't need that in color.
Yeah, it's true.
Is that
it's
Kyle Hotz, says Phil from
yes.
Zade Comics?
Yes.
Yes,
this is Kyle Hotz.
That's right.
Somebody, Phil, yeah, somebody told me in my chat when I was talking about Lobo that Phil was a huge fan of this Lobo, and so you will love this. This is Violator issue 2. I think it's a six issue series. Look at this spread. That's just unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Yeah, look at
Look at that detail. Listen, I know for a fact that color books sell better than black and white books. Look, we can love it as much as we want, but unless we're talking manga, that's not how it works. I quit, said Eric Weathers. Well done, Rocky.
Nice. I did it, guys. Wait, what did I do?
No, first of all, Eric, you can't quit seeing this because you've seen Howard Pyle and NC Wyeth. If that doesn't make you quit, nothing should. And Eric, get in here, man. Come on, at least for a little bit. That's how I would say it. Come on, the first one's free. Smoke a little crank.
See, Zade Comics,
yeah.
Phil, he just said Hotz is amazing. Check his new Lobo book. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep,
it's
that's
so
right.
good. He's
Rocky
really
was
good.
showing
And these
that.
came,
Rest in peace, Eric.
Yeah, these came out within a couple weeks of each other, so I can imagine this guy's stock is rising as far as... I mean, he must be slow is what I'm thinking, probably, why he's not on a regular book, because he's so good.
You know what, though? This is the thing, too, and you've heard a lot of discussions about this in CG, and I can't even begin to start it, because it was always a case with indies and Image Comics and everything like that. Man, I will wait 20 years for a new 8-page Rocketeer story by Dave Stevens. Now, maybe that makes me sick, but there is nothing... Yeah. Uh-oh, what just went nuts?
Oh, sorry. I just stopped sharing. Sorry. I didn't.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just was like, what had happened on this end? Let me see if I can make this work.
I should have warned you.
My wife clearly has her Wi-Fi on her phone because it gave me an option to share her phone, which is upstairs, as she's asleep. And I thought, ooh,
that would be amazing.
That would be hilarious. The problem is it would be face down, so it would just be darkness. Because she's
that
out
would be
like
amazing,
a light, dude.
but then you would be dead.
I'd be murdered straight
yes.
dead. That's how that would go. But it's like I look at this stuff and I look at the hand done stuff and it's like, make it happen. Yeah, guys. And there's a link to Phil's slobbering love of New Lobo book review on YouTube. So go check that out, guys.
Oh, totally.
And guys, if you haven't, anyone in the chat, and I'm sure you guys have, if you are not subscribed to Rocky's channel, for heaven's sake, do it. Subscribe to Rocky's channel, because if you love comics and you love nerdy stuff, Rock and I, we were just legit nerds. We were just into this stuff, and it was craziness. But my favorite, it's funny too. Like, I think that one of the things that I'm most excited about when it comes to this stuff is that I think that everybody is starting to raise their game. I don't know if you've seen some of the stuff that Dale Keown has done for Ethan on CyberFrog, or even the stuff he's done for Mandy. That stuff is sick. But when
I've seen
Dale,
some of the,
Dale
I don't know what
does
he's
Dale.
working on right now. I've seen a couple of like covers he's done on some
Thank you,
CG
Dan
books
Osborne.
and stuff. But
He's don't you think though that
crazy good.
You know, and I can't do this because I dang hand paint stuff, so all I can do is art only editions. But I want to see stuff black and white, man. I've got a hunger for this black and white stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
for
too
sure.
good not to be seen. You know,
Yeah.
it's too good not to be seen.
So what are you? I mean, you're working on this awesome painting. Is this for the new book?
Yep, this is for
Issue
Nosfero,
2?
Death Will Die. Yeah. And it's like, I so want to get into spoilers, you have no idea. And I probably should, like, get comfortable getting into spoilers. Because it's like, even when I'm painting this, it's like, okay, and I told people this from the start. I'm like, look, I'm not killing off. I'm not a snuff film kind of artist. I'm just not. Like, I'm not going to kill off Laurel. I'm not going to kill off you know what I mean? Like, that's just not, this ain't Game of Thrones, you know? And the thing for me is, with this story is that the end of, you know, book 1, something happens to Laurel where she, due to Nosfero, where she gets a supernatural capacity she doesn't fully understand as the book ends. It's just something happens. And you know what that is, Rock. So this is the start of book 2, and this is her having a vision as she's asleep. She starts having visions of this battle going on, and that's sort of the inciting incident of really expanding the world of Nosfero, which you know a ton about that. But it's the same thing, man. It's like
I love the colors on those rocks. That's amazing.
Oh, thanks, dude.
It's like iridescent.
Yeah. You know what it is? There's this because we're super dorks, there's this cinematographer. It is what it is. There's this cinematographer, and lighting guy named Jack Asher who worked on the Hammer horror films. And he is a massive influence on every horror illustrator, including Basil Gogos and all those guys, for that crazy red, green lighting. You see it in the Disney Haunted Mansion. That's all Jack Asher lighting. That's what he did for Hammer Horror. So you have black and white films, like the ones we've been watching, and certainly the one we watched by James Whale, The Old Dark House. But how do you bring horror into color when black and white is so strong? And Jack Asher came up with the answer. It's luridly bright. So Nosfero was big time influenced by Jack Asher.
Nice.
Random McRanderson says, I wish Dale drew more. He should also take as much time as he needs. Absolutely. To me, he is the definitive Hulk artist, and also the darkness. I can't argue with that. I really can't argue with that.
I found I didn't know there was a crossover, but I found a Darkness Pit crossover in a graphic novel form that I got, and his artwork in that is so good.
Yeah.
And then I
Dale's,
picked up like
amazing
issue 2 of Pit or something like that recently.
Yeah.
Back issue box. Like, I love this. His old stuff is amazing, but his new stuff is so good.
I'll be real with you. That new stuff is stunning.
Yeah.
You know, that new stuff is stunning, man. Truly love it. You know, I mean, just an outstanding artist, and I really like everything that he brings to the table with his work. You know, like, he's just like, there's certain people too, and even, you know, what was interesting is Pit 2, I remember seeing that on the rack. Dude.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's like happy childhood memories, man.
It really is.
It's like,
and I remember, I mean, it was
that stuff.
It was amazing. It's still amazing, but then, like, to know that he's on a whole different level now is really crazy. Wow. Like, that somebody who is drawing this good at this point would be getting
Random
even
McRanderson
better.
says, I ordered the Collected Darkness hardcovers from Top Cow's Kickstarter, hoping to get it soon, but the lady who ran their crowdfund stuff, oh my God, recently passed away. So there's oh my God.
Oh,
that's
geez.
reasonable. Yeah, that stuff. That, like, Lauren was laughing because when I was wrapping up Nosfero, or I forget what what brought me to this point, but it's a common theme with me. I said, all I gotta do is stay alive until I get Nosfero painted. And she goes, you need to stay alive longer than that. But it really is the pressure. When you do these things, you're like, I've got to get this. This has to be done for my fans, for my backers. I don't, like, we were talking about that whole, the crowdfunding phenomenon that's been going on forever of, there was one for an Airwolf, a 1/12 scale vehicle. And this guy took all this money in, and then he's like, we can't afford to do this, sorry. And that's what a crowdfund is. It's a risk, and I would.
Oh, like he never produced it.
He's like, I can't produce it. Like, it turned out to be too expensive, and you gave me $400. We gave it a shot, but that's what a crowdfund is. And Lauren and I were just talking about how the idea that someone else doing that keeps us up at night. Like, the guilt, the vicarious guilt, because she's like, we get this book done. Like, it's getting done. Like, it's like, we don't have any other, like, I can't deal with it. And she gets what I mean, Oh my God, I'm worried about Jimmy too. That's a totally separate thing. I do worry about Jimmy Reyes, my inker. He's been having some health troubles and stresses, and I think he's taking good care of himself. But I think Jimmy has shared this on stream. I've been on stream with him, so I'm not telling tales out of school. But he's a childhood leukemia survivor, and he has and he's also has some heart stuff that he's talked about on stream as well. So it's we always wish the best for Jimmy health wise and everything like that. And I have to tell you, speaking of, this is a perfect segue into Black and White. I ordered his book, and he could not get the coloring together, so now he's coloring it himself. But he gave the option of, I believe, having the book in black and white, and I am thoroughly satisfied with the book in black and white. It's beautiful in black and white.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I have.
Oh, nice.
It's nice. Really. I wish I could figure out where the heck I put it, because I will start an avalanche. But I do have the. Oh, you know what? I think it's in my short box over there where I been storing things. But I actually liked it in black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was like going, take a poll and see if people. Want it. Yep.
I totally. I gravitate towards all the black and white, like so many books, and I think retailers are seeing that, like.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many books are coming out with like
too.
What's that?
It's like with manga being there, how could you not see it? That people are willing to buy black and white at least.
Yeah. But there's so many like I know they're like for that Absolute Batman issue I was just talking about earlier. That just came out. They announced they're going to do a noir edition for that first issue, so it'll be a black and white.
Yeah.
Out of that, and then they've done black and white versions of all sorts of different things recently. So I think there's a market for it, and I, like you, prefer it. Unless you're like a phenomenal colorist, I prefer it. So, and even if I do buy the color version, I tend to buy the black and white version too. It's not like I'll buy one over the other.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on the person. Like, unlike Rocky, I don't see color.
Yeah, that could affect things too.
Yeah. No, I what I meant to say is, that I'm just more tolerant than Rocky is. But in truth, I'm actually far less tolerant. It's scary. But I was looking for, because I have it kicking around here somewhere, and I just can't find it. I got something that I really wish they would do even more of, but I do realize that money is an issue, which is why you should all back Nosfero. We're almost to 13K, guys. We do need your support. Wasn't that great?
That's amazing.
This stuff.
That was the best segue of the evening.
You've known me for 30 years, baby. Back it once, back it twice. It is so nice. We're almost to 13K on Nosfero the Crypt Walker, and we need your support. We are wrapping up. We have probably now almost 24 hours only left on this campaign. And I want to tell you something. one of the beautiful comments you sometimes get was really interesting to me, and I really am always grateful for all of the support I have, full stop. But one of your typical jokers on X decided to write a comment or reply to my post where I said, give nihilism no quarter, and he said, I think it was, nihilism, something to the effect of, like, nihilism could probably raise more than 12K as a slight. And I thought to myself, now I want to see if you guys can get this campaign to 13K just to be obnoxious to this dick. But here's the funny thing about it, right? This stuff, the missus and I were talking about it. This stuff costs a lot of money, and it costs a lot of energy and time that I know you guys know this, for us to do this stuff. And the thing for me about it is that we're so grateful for what you guys make possible, and grateful for all of the support that you guys have. But if you haven't backed Nosfero and you're thinking about doing it and you want to do it, yes, no, nihilism wouldn't get a second. That you sound like what my missus said. She'll love this. Nihilism wouldn't get a second chance campaign in the first campaign better than 12K. Amen, random. I agree.
Nice.
And that was something that she said. But this is the real thing about this is that there's an audience for this stuff right now. There's an audience, I mean, for black and white books, for all of this stuff. And the Rocketeer, they did an artisan edition of it, which is a small, soft cover, easy to handle, but it's the art edition, just small. And I really, really want, I would love for them to do more of that. I would love a Spawn small vault edition, that I could just flip through and look at comic book size. I love that stuff. And you know what, guys? I will never stop giving. And so I decided to add to my stuff, my post that I do now on X, give nihilism no quarter, and then it has after it ... nor accept any. It's like, that's just the way it is. I will never stop being the way that I am, because sadly for fools like that, I've seen too much horrific stuff to be into nihilism. It's lame. It's cowardly. Yeah. And you and I rock the way we rock, and no pun intended, rock. And and I mean, I see stuff like when I go down to tell stories, how when I was writing Spring Ball, that I came up with the title for the book before I understood what it fully meant. And when I got to the point to where that's how stories happen, it was just like Bruce Campbell's chin coming in here right when I was about to talk about Spring Ball. My next campaign is, for that project, Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity, is, I figured out my pitch for it, which was big. And it just kind of came to me. It was like, it's Evil Dead meets Spider-Man. And I just cracked up. I went, that's what that book is. And I think that that's how stories come together. It's wild how they come together. And I love that stuff. Oh, Art Haida says, Shanth, are there any 4K release of classic Universal Hammer monster films? Been disappointed by some of my recent 4K Blu-ray purchases. I know the Universal monsters are on 4K. They've done a 4K release of those. Hammer, I couldn't confirm whether there's a really reliable 4K of Hammer. The 1080s are beautiful, but I know that Universal really put their money into the 4K, Universal monster releases. Nobody touches
the Hammer horror films. Are they owned? Is Hammer horror stuff owned by any bigger company, or they still own the rights to all that stuff?
I don't know actually how the rights. That's a really good question. I know that their stuff is released through Arrow Blu-ray DVDs and through Shout Factory, a lot of it. So there's great bonus features, really good bonus features on the Hammer stuff I have. I love my Hammer Blu-rays are great, but I don't know about the 4K. Yeah, it might be on Archive. Yeah, some of them might be, although Archive went down the other day. I don't know what. They ran into some trouble over at the Internet Archive. But yeah, the 4K stuff is... let me see if I can move my sketch here. I was trying to be able to see this thing better. But I don't actually have a 4K player. Interestingly, most of the 4K stuff I watch is streaming 4K because I don't have a 4K player. Isn't that wild of all the people who don't have one? But it's like we haven't. I love movies, but we haven't been able to afford to upgrade to that yet. Because I want a region-free 4K
I'm still at
player.
Blu-ray.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a region-free Blu-ray player?
Not region-free, no.
See, I have to have region-free stuff because I have so much stuff that is like. Thankfully, Japan and us share the same region code, but I have so much stuff that is,
Other regions?
would be region locked. Yeah.
Like what?
Let's see. Okay, all my UK stuff that I have of Hammer Horror releases, things like that. I have German Blu-rays and French Blu-rays. So I have a movie called Where, that was a werewolf movie that I think was.
I saw a trailer for a new werewolf movie that I thought of you.
Oh yeah,
have you heard of that? What's
Malin
it called?
was
Is it Werewolf?
About that the other day. Yes, I think it's just Werewolf or Werewolves.
Yeah,
but I think it's Werewolf.
It looked kind of cool.
It looks pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
I think, the clips that they showed in the trailer I saw showed, if I'm not mistaken, am I imagining this? But I thought they showed like transformations and they felt very like an homage to the great, werewolf transformations in American Werewolf in Paris American Werewolf
in London. Yeah, I know what you mean.
In London, sorry. But yeah, those like really iconic transformations, like they're totally referencing them or paying homage to them. But it looked cool. It looked like a cool
nice
film.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, Art is saying that good to hear that that they're good. The Universal releases bought the Norton Hulk movie and it looked like a poorly encoded DVD upscaled to 1080, upscaled to 4K. Oof. Yeah, that's always rough. To me, I've told people if I didn't illustrate comics, my other dream job would be film restoration, sincerely, because those guys are my heroes. And it's like cleaning with art. Yeah.
Cleaning with art.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's nuts. Well, you know how much attention to detail we have to have when we self-publish, man. It's like, you gotta be on it for the colors to be correct in a painted comic book reproducing. It's like, oh my lord.
Oh yeah, Frank Grillo is in this movie, Werewolves.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Frank Grillo, who was from he was in the Marvel movies a little bit. He played Crossbones, I think was the character he played.
So here's a question I have, because I've just heard about this the other day. Did this movie just come out of nowhere? I feel like it just came out of nowhere. There was no build-up.
I had never heard of it before. Yeah, it's supposed to come out in December of this year, and the director's name is Stephen C. Miller.
Huh. Interesting.
The website is werewolvesmovie.com.
Huh.
But I don't know anything about it. Not that I'm tracking werewolves, but when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, it reminded me of you, obviously, and then I was like, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I love werewolves, man. My ex loves Frank movies. A no-go for me now. Oh, the movie Frank. Yeah. There you go. Well, it's tied to a painful relationship. That would absolutely make sense. 100% makes sense.
Here, I just put the link in there.
Yeah, dude, do it.
Whoa.
This is craziness, man. I can't believe we're able to do this. Like, just show artwork and show the process on stream. Man, if I had had this when I was younger, I'd have lost my mind.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, like, had Todd McFarlane or somebody drawing, or, any of the artists, Dave Stevens, anybody else drawing, where you can see.
Okay, Sean, that was awesome. You're like, it's as if watching me stream is like watching Todd McFarlane.
No, actually, not at all. I'm saying...
Yeah,
I wish. Oh my god. Yeah, no, but it's, what I'm saying, like, when they were using, particularly in Todd's case, because you can see no shortage of videos of Todd working in digital. Hey, Tammy D, hail! It's great to see you, Tammy, channel member and queen of this stream. It is great to see you.
You remember
say
those
hello to
classic,
Tammy D.
those classic VHS tapes of like Stan Lee interviewing
Yep.
Rob Liefeld, interviewing Todd
Yes,
McFarlane? You remember
comic book
those?
greats,
What were the
man. Those
yeah,
were what
comic
we
book
had.
greats. That's all we had. That was our YouTube back then to see the artists.
That's how we could see. That's how I learned about what nibs people used and like outside of magazines. And now people can not only show you the nibs and the ink, but like how you hold the pen, what you like. You know what I mean? It's like people ask me questions when I'm streaming, and I get to answer this. Hey, all hail Rocky! Yes, indeed. It's great to have my man in the house.
Hey, Tammy D.
Chilling.
The funny
out.
thing is, I was streaming one time. I was drawing, and I had positioned my camera closer to the frame, like closer to the page, so that we could see as I was inking. And these are the kind of questions I answer. I think Antoine Dennison was in my chat, and he said, "Hey, do you have vitiligo?"
Oh,
because I do on my hand, and he saw it. He saw it. He was asking. He was like, "Is that a tan, or do you have vitiligo?" I was like, "I do have a little bit of vitiligo." So funny of you to notice.
Yeah, I don't really know much about
different.
what goes on with Rocky. I'm weirdly disinterested. Oh my god. Yeah, like I swear I was watching Crocodile Dundee and I was thinking about this stuff, and I'm just sort of like going, oh, yeah, that like here's the things I remember about watching you do art streams. Yeah, they totally gave him a bad Winsor Newton. There's no getting around it. He needs to send that back and get a new one. Those liars. I was like incensed by that, dude.
You were so like you're so on it like immediately. You're like, nope, that's not a good one. Nope. Send it back.
That is like crazy. Like that was almost so absurd. Like when you see an actual Winsor Newton brush, it was crazy, man. Of course, my dear, of course. Yeah. I would go to the magazine rack at the local comic shop to flip through comics I couldn't afford. Yup, and we'd learn stuff in Comic Scene magazine and Wizard. Yes. And even how to draw comics the Marvel way. They'd show you what tools you could get and use. Yeah. And yep, yeah, that is right. That's Petey, man. Yeah, that's why I was saying when you guys gift memberships and things like that to people, I wanted to have something different for the show. So in addition to a cheerleader, you can actually see him in the corner with a bone in his mouth. The dog gets a bone. So it's like the new stuff I try with this show, man. Always trying to make it fun and entertaining. You guys know. Pizza Live, though, has gotten to be something. That was my 20th episode of Pizza Live this week.
That's amazing.
Isn't that nuts?
I love it. I love the format that it evolved to. It's really... Because when you first started it, right, you were just like, it was just like timed. Everybody like hit play at the same time, right? Yeah. It was kind of like, what do they call it?
Everyone hit play at the same time. It never synced up. Or then I showed slides and people could play it so I could show about where I was.
Yeah, it was like a watch party. Yeah.
And
but then when you did it in the little TV and then the pizza box, like that was awesome. It was such an awesome evolution of that show.
Yeah, and I actually saw a horror movie watch party on a smaller, newer channel where they have a little TV that they're watching on with a camera there, and it was very sort of familiar, but it's like I looked at it and I went,
Live?
Yeah, it probably was. But I looked at it and I said to myself, they were filming an actual television with it playing, which was an interesting idea. But it's like, it's not like, how do I put it? There's so much work that goes into Pizza Live by design that it's like, that's like, I remember hearing Maxfield Parrish's secret to why nobody could do Maxfield Parrish. And it was, he used a technique that was so impossible, it would break you. Like, nobody could do it but him. He was so meticulous that there's no way you could get his effect. And with everything I do, I don't think anything I do isn't something you could repeat. You know, you couldn't repeat, but I try to put everything I've got into it and outwork to make up for skill. Like, to do things... These pages... The original Nosfero pages were smaller than how big I'm painting now on book 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were significantly...
What's the size of this page?
This page... I wish I could see the image area. Let me use my book for a measurement. These pages are 12 inches, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're 12 by 16 or 12 by 18, but I want to say 16. Wow. So they're actually, no, wait. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just double check there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are 12 by 16. So these are quite large. The other pages were, I forget, well, actually, I feel like I should grab one at some point, but they were way smaller than this. Like, this is what I would do. Even the cover of Nosfero was, like, that big. It wasn't that big of a thing, because it was getting reduced to 8.5 by 11, so they were a little bigger than 1-up when you would see them. And now, like, I'm trying to imagine, like, this is the comic book, right? So I'll show the width, because it's a little bit better. This is going to be nuts when it gets reduced.
Wow.
Like, some of the detail I'm doing, like, right... Let me see, where's the cover? Oh, wait, this one right here. Some of the detail I'm doing here, this is going to be a very small book plate in the oxidized edition. This is nuts right here. Like, the book plate is going to be that wide, and this image is going out to there. Now, the print is going to be bigger. That's why I'm painting it bigger. But if you people who back with the print tier, but this is going to be crazy, because you look at a book like Nosfero, and it's like, this is the scale of the entire book. You know what, I'll tell you, you know this, and you commented on this. If there's one thing I'm unbelievably thrilled about, it's how well the colors reproduced in this dang book. Like, I worked so hard on that stuff. And, you know, you could put these things next to each other, and it's almost difficult to tell which is the artwork and which one is the print job. You know, and this is gloss. Great. Yeah. You know, it's like, to see that with a glossy stock, like with a matte stock, the lettering, you know, is going to throw you, but it's like, yeah, that's the colors I wanted. Like, that's exactly what I wanted. So, yeah, it's craziness. And thank you so much, Tammy. I do appreciate the kind words. It's, you know how hard we work on all of this stuff. And Pizza Live, guys, the last one was so fun. I hear you, Random. I have to watch on my TV sometimes, but chat on the YouTube app. Yep. Oh, gosh, I'm way behind on this. Whoa, where is it? Oh, yeah. Then some weird black and white comics showed up, and I got addicted to manga for 5 years. Then some crazy people started streaming 24/7, and I became a CG backer 100%. And it's just we love this stuff so much. Like, to find the people that we used to, you know, meet and talk about this stuff with online has been one of the great rewards of this. And if you want to know what the future of this channel is, just take a look at that background image there behind us. It's got Nosfero and Springball in it. And that's what it is, you know, and Springball's going to be launching next. You know, that's next on deck.
That's so exciting.
Dude,
I can't wait.
You're going to be very involved in it, man, because you've been involved for 30 years. You know what I mean?
Mark's
up with
music
that
obsession.
Freshman year.
He's trying to. He's really working hard to try and locate issue 2, and I'm like, I think I have multiple copies. I could swing you one, Mark, maybe.
Dude, I'm telling you, issue 2 is going to be rarer because there were not a lot of issue 2s that went out into the wild. You know, it's
in the
like
original print run.
In the original print run, yeah, there were way more. That this is going to be the dude. This is not a selling point. It is the truth. The oxidized edition of Nosfero that's available right now on Indiegogo and the art edition are going to be the rarest Nosfero editions by the fact of their backing. And they're going to have different things in them. And I'm telling you right now, the reason second issues are hard to track down is because there's not as many of them ordered, and they're often the most expensive things. So it's weird that a second printing can become more of a limited edition than a first printing, but that is going to happen. Like, the art edition of Nosfero, I haven't counted how many copies we're going to have to print, but it's not going to be a ton. And so it's, if I have any which I always do overprint just for damage, I don't have enough room in my house to do overprint for future sales. That's not going to happen. We will not live like that, Rocky. We won't do it. But that art edition, if I ever had any extra copies to sell, I'm going to be charging a lot for them. Like, a lot. Over $100 for them. Because there's not going to be many. I want people to have these things go up in value. Yep. Yes, indeed.
Excited.
Yes, indeed. Got to get that to you.
I love that you're doing that little, like, different things. Just I mean, not huge overhauls, right? Because you're not
Yeah.
doing a new book, but you're doing little things to make each edition unique, so that people
Amen.
who've already backed the first one
Thank you,
are
Tammy.
getting something different on the second one, and something different for the artist edition. So I'm really
Yeah, they
excited
get
for that.
different bonus features. There's going to be exclusive artwork. The first printings are the only ones that are signed. There's going to
Doesn't
be
the artist edition have like a nude picture of you in it too? I think so, right? That's what you
no,
promised me.
that's actually the super elite edition. That's
Oh,
that's
oh,
actually the
oh! I
that's
didn't know that.
actually the mocha latte edition of it.
Oh,
Some people nicknamed it the brown sugar edition.
brown sugar. That's yeah.
That's right. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Hashtag love is love. And I will tell you,
I'm so excited.
We haven't changed enough. Yeah, that's the only fans. Says Nick Randerson. Yeah, I think in that situation it would be more of an OnlyFans tear, like crying at the horror. Oh my god!
It's a true Hammer horror film.
It is 100% mocha chocolate, says Tammy. Yes, indeed. And guys, let me tell you, if you did miss it, Tammy, and I know you were saying you did, just for the breathtaking nature of the movie alone, the 20th episode of Pizza Live, that movie, The Old Dark House, is staggeringly good. Staggeringly good. And I actually, as a man of my word, when I see a public domain movie that is truly exceptional and it's available in Blu-ray, I will order the Blu-ray, and I did for that movie, because I want to tell people that movie, this is another shocking thing about it. Yes, Tammy, you absolutely will love it. That movie was believed to have been lost. And so it was discovered. I forget what year it was discovered, but it wasn't that long ago. And they gave it the full restoration. But this is a movie by James Whale, starring Gloria Stewart from Titanic fame later on in her career. It has Charles Laughton, and it has Boris Karloff, and the actor who played, I forget his name, Dr. Pretorius, and Bride of Frankenstein. And it's the movie that follows up, like James Whale, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and this. And this movie was lost. Like, wow. We're talking about a serious work, and they restored it, and it's beautiful. Yeah, the resolution of that movie feels sudden and weird, but the movie itself was cool. 100% true. Yeah, it's a bit of an off-kilter. It wasn't a successful, obviously following those movies, it was viewed as a bit of a failure, but artistically and aesthetically, it's incredible. So it's one of my favorite episodes of Pizza Live. I think my favorites, God, the previous week was really good too, but I really loved City of the Dead, about the witch burnings. That was a really great movie that I also got the Blu-ray of. But yeah, really loved all of that stuff. God, I love this time, man. It really is fun. You know, all the stuff we get to do. It's just so cool. And these guys make it possible. All right, so you're getting tired. I know it's late there. And I always loved, I've been saying that now for 30 years, man. Yeah. I saw on the streaming app Max that a lot of movies have been restored. Psycho is one of them. Yeah, Psycho is pristine. Yeah, that sudden extra hand and then suddenly Grandpa, that was a bit weird. Yeah, and he was a knife thrower at that. But yeah, I really have enjoyed this stuff, man. It's like, it's cool to see you doing brush inking. I think your Mike Zeck video, and I'm looking forward to your Batman video. I think that's going to be really cool.
Oh yeah.
Because you seem like you're in it, you know? Like, you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, I'm really excited to kind of dive in deeper on that one and just, dissect it a little bit. Like there's a few categories that when I call them like my closer look videos, where I go a deeper dive into a particular book that I'm interested in. And there's categories that I talk about, like, do I like the story, the writing? Do I like the genre, the world, the art style, obviously, and then the characters and all those kind of things. Like, how do they work together? What makes me want to buy the book? What makes me excited about the book? And so, yeah, for sure. After I read that issue, I was like, okay, I need to do it on this book because there's stuff that's really working for me that I want to talk about. So,
The next big thing that's going to happen on this channel, I have another channel dedicated where I'll probably move the videos after, but I'm very serious and committed to doing, is basically a my teacher, what I used to do as a teacher kind of coming out, which is my forget everything you've been taught about. And I keep coming up with subjects for it. And the one that I'm another one I'm excited about right now, there's the Mary Shelley one. There's also the Frankenstein one that's separate. There's the Bram Stoker's Dracula one. But one of them that has come up recently that I want to talk about is forget everything you've been taught about the Salem witch trials. And the thing about that I have found both horrifying and fascinating is the Salem witch trials started with 4 young ladies accusing some other women of witchcraft. Now, I've heard that story. I've seen The Crucible, which is a propaganda, about misrepresenting what was going on during the Red Scare and communism. The fact that there were communists and there weren't witches. They tried to make it a McCarthy-esque, metaphor, which it is not. And then I've heard conspiracy theories that there was poisoned wheat, and that's what made everybody paranoid, like as if humanity, needs that to go completely nuts. Look around you. But here's the thing I've never heard. The people who were the initial accusers of the Salem witch trials were, here were their ages, and this blows my mind. 9, 11, 12, and 17. That last one really jumped out at me. And I went, it sounds to me like a 17-year-old who had a creepy axe to grind with these other women got 3 children to say that they were also possessed, who were probably had no idea. And that is what led to the entire thing. Like, I'm not saying that these 3 kids were not reliable witch accusers. However, I've seen every telling of it makes it so sophisticated, and that there's an insidious thing to the facts of the case. Because if you have kids, and or if you've ever been around a human child, and you picture a 17-year-old with a 12-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old, they're like, you just
the story kind of writes itself right there.
It writes itself, and and it's no longer Winona Ryder and a bunch of like teenagers. It's pre-adolescent children. Yeah. But granted, Jordan, you're right. But they might have been witches anyway. You're true. Like, from the mouths of babes comes the truth. Yeah. Yep, that's right. But there were also witch trials, going on at the same time in England and Europe. Yes, they were everywhere. Like, people were doing this. You know what I mean? Which is why I've said for years, Rocky is a witch. No, if you don't believe me, ask this 9-year-old friend of mine.
Yeah.
What like, it's that insane. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, so there's all these conspiracy theories, and to me it just sounds like, hysteria and silliness, Rad art and comics.
We think social media is bad for our teenage girls now, but, witch trials are worse.
I could show you, I saw an Instagram video, which I cannot show, but I think this is a great thing to drop in the chat and for you guys to open in another window. It is the closest thing I have seen to a horror movie in a long time, and I don't think you've seen it, but I'm not going to share it because YouTube gets really weird about sharing content from other channels. But it was an ad for athletics, and it was called what was it? I forget what it was called. Hopefully this will come up, but this is the link to the Instagram post. But it was a video that was basically showing the arc of a young girl who gets on social media, and the arc of what it does over time. You've probably seen it. It's been shared around. I think
I've seen this. Yes, I've seen this.
Yes, and it is like a horror movie. Now, here was the funny thing about it. One of my dear friends, who he doesn't have kids, and I don't think he even, outside of me, has a lot of friends who don't have kids. Got to this one point in it where the girl is going hysterical, this young girl, as they take away her cell phone. And he goes, I don't understand what that last bit was about, why she was screaming. And I went, because these kids are so addicted to this stuff. When you take it away, they go nuts.
Have you ever tried to take drugs away from a crackhead?
You did, but that we were in college. No kidding. But yes. I was like, I saw this thing and I was like, damn. But the whole point of it is that why do we still struggle to see the failings of human beings leading to all of this? Like, our great stories show, whether it's Romeo and Juliet with Shakespeare, show the tragedy of, human error, envy, all of that stuff. And it turns out that the big core of the Salem witch trials were these two rival, wealthy, or prominent families in Salem, and those accusations worked towards town politics and personal destruction. If by some miracle I have kids anytime soon, they're not getting smartphones. Yeah, we did that with our kids. Our kids were not allowed. Well, they had phones, but they were not allowed to have social media. We had those things locked out, and they've thanked us later. They've said before, like, whenever they got around stuff, which did happen 1 or 2 times, we had them so, like, we really did our work on that. And it was like, but it was easy because they told on themselves. You could watch their attitudes change if they got around something. It was that scary. And, I had an interesting story today.
It definitely gets harder as, like, they get older because then the external controls don't work anymore. And they'll just hide it from you, right? So you have to work on, like, the internal controls and, like, teaching them, like, hey, I can't be, building this fence around you and worried about the horrors of the world for you as you get older. You kind of have to start seeing it for yourself, and not seeing seeing how horrible it could be and making those decisions yourself. But it gets harder for sure as they get older. Like,
I had a huge advantage over you. Huge advantage. Which is, I think like a criminal. Like, I was that teenage kid who got around stuff. I was like, and I'm such a quick read of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's the weirdest thing. All you got to imagine is somebody, like I remember saying this to Lauren. I said, I have all these powers that would probably be so financially rewarding if I used them for evil, but I only use them to help people because I don't like that. So I'm kind of like, this person's feeling sad today. I should ask them how they're doing. And I read all of these, like, little things, and it's one of those things. But because I hung around a lot of kids who lied and got into trouble, my own kids were pretty easy to spot. And you can also just tell, like, you just lose that connection with things. Yeah, that's right. Totally. Dumb phones are totally coming back. Yeah, she wasn't shown how to work the phone. She ended up getting a $400 charge to her mom's phone. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. I was 32 when I got the first cell phone. Kids have no idea what it was like. Yes. I'm thinking of just getting a landline. You know what, Tammy? It's really funny. At my wife's, the place where my wife works, which is a school, of course, they are now going to be banning cell phones use or at all in a classroom. 100% schools are jumping on this. And I said, for people to understand what it's actually like, it would be like if, with cell phones in schools and how bad it got, it would be like if schools installed landlines for every desk, and you would, like, be teaching students while they had a phone to there, and they're like, no, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm just listening. That's, you'd be like, there's no way you could have a classroom. And more schools are doing this because, as that video shows, the results are in. And I can tell you I've had stories from my kids where they've talked about that when you go out with a bunch of friends and you go to try to do things, and all everyone is doing is looking at their phone. It's no fun, man. It's crazy. Snake Game on my Sony Razr Flip
Unless
was
they're
pretty
watching
awesome.
our
Yep.
YouTube channels, then that's okay.
Well, here's the crazy thing about this, right? When you're watching our YouTube channels, and this is the thing that strikes me as weird, if we were all hanging out, we wouldn't be watching YouTube. We're present right now here. So it would be like if we did a fan meetup and we all got together and we were all watching YouTube next to each other when we got together. I doubt that would happen. You know what I mean? It's like this is about distance and time, but when you're sitting next to your best friend and or one of your friends in school and you're texting another friend down the hall, that's when it's just nuts, man. Yep. Better chucking, and that's the other thing about YouTube. Now people I watch a lot of YouTube on the television, which really changes it. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so
I can
worth
see
it
that
too.
being different. Yeah.
Now that people are doing stuff like Grim Life Collective, they film in 4K. You see so much. And we're streaming now in 1080p, so that's pretty good. You know, StreamYard's only 720.
I mean, Ecamm, you can go up to
4K.
I thought you could go up to 4K or 2K, maybe 4K.
2K.
I can't remember,
I
but
think you're right.
But you have to have the camera. Like I don't have a camera that films it that
agreed.
high anyway. So
yeah, and Immoral Fat 40 ounce says, "I'm only here because it's on YouTube. I wouldn't hang out with you. No offense, you're cool and all. No, none taken. None taken." Hey, listen, as long as you back Nosfero Crypt Walker, which has almost 24 hours left on it and needs your support, we're trying to get to 13K. We appreciate your support, and God bless you guys. You guys are awesome. Look, now he's cracking up. Yeah, I just replaced my PC monitor with a 42-inch LG. Wow, C4. Whoa, that's amazing. That's wild TV. I don't have unlimited data on my phone, so I can't do that out in public. Yeah, amen. Yeah, I think it's really cool that you can have that experience. Like we're broadcasting in better resolution than Bob Ross had, and he's still killing us on YouTube. Let's be clear.
Killing it.
From beyond the grave, he is destroying us, guys. Well, we've got 50 people watching between X and YouTube. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like. Do back Nosfero. Let's prove that negative Nancy wrong and get Nosfero to 13K. I don't think that was what he meant by the insult, but it just makes me laugh. So let's have fun and let's keep doing what we do here, guys.
Wait, I'm going to check what
I have no idea.
Can I check?
I have no idea. I think I've lost a lot of backers during this stream. I'm convinced of it.
Oh, geez. You're at 12,850. You are so close. Wow.
We are so close. $150 away.
175 backers.
That is it, man. Isn't that wild?
Wow. That's
Second chance
amazing.
campaign, dude. So grateful to these guys. So grateful to them. So grateful to Mark, who I wish was here. And all the people who've been tuning in and checking stuff out, man. We love you guys. You guys are the best. And I also have to say an awesome one's like Nos. Check it out. Nos. Right on. Rock and roll. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I ordered a head sketch, Random. You are the man, and thank you so much for ordering a head sketch. You're awesome, and I really appreciate it. I want to say to all of you guys, and of course to my brother Rocky, go subscribe to his channel. He's been true blue friend, true blue comic fan, and the guy I nerd out with all the time. We have been to Skywalker Ranch. We have done so many crazy adventures, Cafe Zoetrope, all sorts of fun stuff.
That's right.
And it is really amazing. And these guys right here, these guys are gold that you see in the chat. I know you know that because a lot of them are in your chat, but all of these folks,
good people. Really
these
good
are
people.
great folks. And
they make it
I feel
fun.
like we've
they
all
make
been
it so
looking
fun.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
You guys are awesome.
It's so fun, like, to stream, and I'm always laughing during the stream, and then afterwards I always like have a big smile on my face, just having the conversations with everybody that shows up in the chat. So it's a good time. It's really fun, really positive, and it's that same passion I was talking about earlier, like when I would go visit you and we would geek out about stuff, and then you just get more excited about it. and
Yeah.
go out and hunt out for some more stuff. It's like the same way with the chat. It's like, because I get excited about it, they get excited about it. Half the times they're talking about stuff that I don't even know, but it's still fun.
My brother Diesel, man. Always love seeing you,
What's
brother.
up, Diesel?
Yeah, he's another True Blue fan, and he's a True Blue brother, man. Love that dude. And it's like, and when you guys see this, and it's coming, man, it's coming up. I just updated the credits today. All of you guys who are channel members are going to see your name in the credits. Diesel, I don't know why, man. You always put a smile on my face when I see you in the house, man. Diesel is so positive, dude. He's such a positive guy and a true brother, man. But guys, remember, 24 hours left on Nosfero the Crypt Walker Art Only Edition and the Oxidized Edition. Back at any level, we're $150 away from
13,000 people.
Yeah, we could get to 13,000, man. I tell you what, we're almost there. Awesome. Comrade Sammy, great to see you guys. So as I always like to say, guys, amen, brother. Amen. It's we
Nice.
love you, Diesel. From the heart of Lovecraft Country in the birthplace of American religious liberty, my name is SHANTH ENJETI. This is SHANTH ENJETI Art. This is my brother from another mother, Rocky Ballesteros over there. Go check out and subscribe to his channel. As I often like to say and always like to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you guys. And I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. We will see you soon, and here are the credits. Look for your names in the credits because you guys, this is a people-powered show, and you guys power it. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.